The magazine Brides Today shared 3 digital covers featuring non-binary trans activists and a comedian, Alok, Vaid-Menon, posing in different gowns on Instagram. Now, we're not talking about Bride Today in the US. It is owned by the India Today news group, and Brides Today shared on their social media that they had released the cover, quote, in support of the right to love and dignity for all, end quote. The covers dropped as India's Supreme Court prepares to rule on marriage equality for the Indian LGBTQ plus community. Alok admittedly and admits they have been bullied for their identity, but hopes things will change. While some people trolled them online, many are showing great support for Alok and the cover shoot. So, question 3. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. India is moving too fast to show the non-binary cover of this example of Bridal magazine.
And you're just not letting anybody drink tonight.
I know, you're not trying to, yeah, what's wrong?
The mayonnaise in the room is, so I mean, you know, I mean, we're okay, good. Oh, wow, whoa, what?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. Well, first off, let me tell you what. A big portion of our support functions, in fact, the person that wrote this setup for It's Happening Out, and I'd Swallow That, is a lesbian in Pune, India. And we have a large staff that supports Happening Out television network in India. And it's interesting to me that India LGBT is in this transitional time period. Some argue it's like 1997, 98 after Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Mm-hmm.
Some argue it's like 2012 after Obama coming to Jesus over marriage equality leading up to the marriage Supreme Court decision. But India is in dramatic transition on Indian LGBT rights. And remember, while we think we're the center of the world, there's 1.4 billion Indians, which means by all estimates, there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 150 million LGBT in India.
And that's what, 2.5 or 3 times our population?
Yes. It's like, wow.
I mean, I met Alok and at the National Human Rights Campaign dinner in DC, and they're just so spectacular. That they've also done a lot of
pronouns are they them.
They them, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And they've done just so many amazing. I mean, their book first and foremost is one of the most banned books in the United States because queer. But they're just so absolutely amazing. I know they did an event down here in South Florida at FIU's Pride Student Union. They do an annual gender chill event, and they spoke, and they're such a powerful speaker. They're such a powerful force to be reckoned with. And I'm so stoked about this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I think, in terms of India, in terms of moving so fast, I mean, we're all at this table, pretty progressive thinkers. In terms of putting, this image in front of India, I think it's scary. I think it will cause some havoc. And I think people are going to die over this, I think. I know that we all want to move really fast, but it's always when I tell people as an activist, when I talk to a right-winged or a Republican, I try to talk to them at their level, and I try to reach them at their level. And I think something like this, although it's great, I'm always hesitant and scared because I'm not coming to you at your level so you can understand where I'm coming from. And sometimes
do we have an obligation to be more patient
My knees hurt from squatting to get down so low, frankly. I'm tired. I'm standing over them at this point.
But at this point, I mean, moving fast by what this image represents is not really moving fast.
Can you show the image in full screen?
The images that were shown during the promo was just a matter of just showing another segment of the community that is a part of the community that's not only representative of India, but I have a friend who I won't name that lives in here in the States and was in Chicago, did their thing, identifies they at IML, truly themselves, and we all embraced and loved. And so all we're doing is now accepting another segment of the community. I think going too fast will be every network, everywhere you look, every billboard. And so all this now is just saying, hey, we exist, You can't run away. And as beautiful as it is in its imagery, period.
You know, some people have written, just to close, some people have written that the great victory of the 2015 movement, march to marriage equality in the Supreme Court, and that battle was great and it was terrible. That it was great in that it happened, and a large percentage of our community celebrate that because a large percentage of our community is what? White, gay, privileged men. And so therefore they got what they wanted. The argument against what happened in 2015, lots of people have written and said, but that's what caused, helped cause Donald Trump and helped cause the craziness that we see from Proud Boys and other things, because it allowed them to focus away from their fascism and their swastikas to focus on children and drag queens and queer people, and fly the swastika and the Nazi flags at the same time. And they're more accepted because they're talking about anti-LGBT, anti-drag, anti-trans issues.
Go off, sis.
Okay. All right. It's just a thought of what we're seeing. All right. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.